Okay, good morning everyone. Today's Thai Talk speaker is Mr. Omid Parto, so please give him a warm round of applause.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right, I'm going to talk about psychology and its application in success, personal success. Of course, psychology is the field that you hear about it in many, many ways. You see books about personal growth. You see organizations talking about the use of psychology. There's so many research about consumers' habit, decision-making, a lot of different. All right, so my name, Dr. Omid Parto. My education, I'm a behavioral psychologist. I have a doctorate degree in that. I'm also a pharmaceutical scientist. I have a doctorate degree in that. I'm a student like you, and I'm getting my doctorate degree in education, leadership in healthcare education. I'm a CTE certified person, like your teachers here, like your school. And I got certified in 2015, when Legacy Magnet Academy was not here yet. So I know about CTE, Career Technical Education. I know your curriculum. I know how you get educated, how things are prepared for you, the different activities that you have. My work experience, we can leave this for later. There are a lot we can add. There are usually two stupid questions. I'm not talking about people. I'm talking about this question that whenever people meet new people, they ask this. Later in life, you realize that it has no use, honestly. They ask, what do you do for work? This is question number one. And when you answer, they say, really? That is stupid question number two. So we skip that. What I'm doing, it's available on LinkedIn. I think more important is to talk about application of psychology. As I said, the personal application is vast. Educational growth, personal growth, communication. And if you don't know, communication is the most important skill ever. Although we all think that we know communication because we automatically learn how to talk, we automatically grow, and we think that everything else in our growth and development is automatic. It is not. Our habits, our routines, everything that you do, you're learning. You just figured it out, but is that the proper systematic way of learning? Of course not. There are techniques that make it more efficient, more useful. The same thing with personal success, educational success, learning. Sometimes you hear that, there are personal counselors for family therapy, educational counselors, and addiction, rehabilitation, things like that. And whenever we think about these different fields, one of the human reaction is we think we're distant from them. Nowadays, we call the new method, the new trend is servant leadership. It means that you serve your team, whoever they are, and provide what they need to perform well. You cover for them. You help them to progress and improve and be better. And meanwhile, you're such a good role model that they eventually follow you, whatever you say. If I ask you what is your earliest memory that you can check in your mind, that one memory defines so many other things in your life if you go really, really back. Future planning also deals with time. Psychology is a science, again. It deals with neuroscience, it deals with neurotransmitters, biochemical reactions in the body, hormones, and a lot of other things. One important thing that I just want to trigger your interest and your curiosity is to tell you that your skin has a receptor for Valium. Valium is a medication, it's a tranquilizer. It keeps people calm. They feel a little bit better, relaxed, stress goes away, and everything fades away. And it's very strong, very, very strong. Nowadays, they know that suddenly your skin that has nothing to do with nervous system has receptors for Valium. That means when a kid cries that, I hurt my knee, and the mom put hands on the knee, they naturally know for some reason that putting the hand on the skin will release chemicals that takes away the stress and calm the kid down. How do we know about this? Mystery. But patting on the shoulder, when you have a massage and you think that the world changed. You see the colors brighter. Try it when you go to shopping malls and they have this 20 minutes massage. Try it once and you see the colors better. You hear sounds different because of the release of those chemicals. The psychology in personal growth and success. Especially, I try to tailor it toward your age. There are some important elements of success. How many times you've heard people telling you, find your passion, follow your passion? Do you have any idea that how wrong it is to tell? How many times you've seen people going to a little kid and say, what do you want to be when you grow up? You know, that is one of the most negative questions anybody can ask another human being at that age. When you tell them that, we see the reaction and the result 2 decades later, when people think that they're their career. They're their career. They have to introduce themselves with their career. They're nothing else. They're what they have, what they own, what they wear, their job, the amount of how much they get paid, and they include that in their identities, which is wrong. A kid is a kid, has an identity already given to him. We need just to accept that person as is. We never should ask anybody, what do you want to be later on? Because you're not something right now. You need to be something later on. That is the wrong question. Now let's talk about intelligence. Misconceptions. Again, people think that intelligence is brain power. People think that, oh, IQ. What is your IQ? Did you you know what is your IQ? IQ is just a number. It's nothing else. I'm telling you that. I'm getting my doctorate degree in education. So it's not a personal opinion. Let's check reality. First, nowadays we talk about emotional intelligence, social intelligence. That has nothing to do with brain. It's just your interaction, the dynamics that you have with a small group of people, in a small community, with your siblings, your loved ones, in school, with your teacher, anywhere that you go. Some people, based on looking at the new definition of intelligence, they believe that dolphins are the most intelligent creatures on this planet. It's very funny because as soon as I tell a group of students, they say, they don't have hands. They didn't land on the moon. They don't have cars. They don't have a civilization. And these are all indication and factors that you think people are intelligent. The focus of IQ, if you don't know it, let me tell you. The focus of IQ, it's measuring greatly your flexibility and adaptability. That's why left-handed people usually get higher score in IQ. Because for a long time, they try to live in a world that is right-handed world. So left-handed people, something good news for you. If they compete and they fight and they do something like harmful things to others, it's only for staying alive and survival and for their genus. Human beings, on the other hand, let's just have a comparison here. They don't do this only for survival. They're in the most advanced country in the world, like United States. They're in one of the best schools in this country, LMA. They have brand new classrooms, everything, and they bully each other, right? And they think it's power. I wish I had time to go over bully and tell you that how dysfunctional is the family that the bully person comes out of it. It doesn't matter if it's a whispering, it's a murmur, it's something that it's a gesture. This person has the mob support, 25 people following him, they're rich, they're not rich, it doesn't matter. There is always a role model in any bully's family. That is an abusive father who abuses mom, or an abusive mom who abuses the children, or an abusive sibling that is older, or something else going on. It's not coming from a healthy family. What is the reason? Just think about it. That somebody who's fed, who received love, who received care, who has no stress for future, who has nothing to worry about, and go and begin to hurt another person's feeling and emotion and everything else. It's nothing but a disease. I told you about the IQ test, which is based on adaptation. Now, critical thinking is also important as part of the intelligence. Flexible thinking, I think 2 years ago, 3 years ago, you've been given, or 4 years ago, a book. The name of the book was Inside the Box, Thinking Inside the Box. This is a part of flexible thinking, and it's very important for intelligence. Memory and recalling, there is a saying in French language that memory is the daughter of attention, is the mother of intelligence. What does that mean? It means that don't blame your memory if you don't recall something. You didn't pay attention. If I'm talking to you and I'm giving you the definition of intelligence, and later on you don't remember it because you were probably texting, paying attention to the assignment that you're behind, taking care of something else, looking at the monitor of your computer, whatever it was. But if you pay attention to what is given to you, you recall it later on. Very simple. You need to perceive things. After you perceive them, cognition plays the important role. Then you need to have some type of orientation with this new information of what you perceived. Then you pay attention to it. Then you place it in your memory and you recall it later. Then you can play with flexible thinking because now you stored it in your hard disk drive and you can recall it whenever you want. Critical thinking, adaptation, IQ is here only. And then improvement, making improvement. And then repeat progress and repeat the same cycle. That's the reason. Attention and perception are the gate of learning. If you want to learn something, you need to work on these two things. Pay attention, you're 50% ahead of everybody else. I'm talking about the effect of language in your perception and the way that you see the world. If you don't have a word for it, you don't perceive it. It sounds strange, but every year we have few scientific papers that talk about the same thing. Last year we had a topic in American Scientific that was about odors and sensing odors. People who participated, about 500 people, if they didn't have the word for that sense, they could not sense it. They couldn't. That's why French people are so famous for perfume industries and art of cuisine art. Because in French language, you have a wide spectrum of words for odors, different type of odors, and taste. Range of perception defines the quality of your cognition and affects the IQ and affects the intellect and so many other things. In English language, we have two words for the broad spectrum that we have. Liking something. On one hand, we have love. On the other hand, we have hate. And you hear kids, toddlers that say, I love this, I hate this. I love this and hate. It continues in teenage years. And then after that, you see it in couples, young couples, that within an hour, somebody moves from love to hate. If you compare this with French language, French language has 21 words, 21 different words for explaining the level of love. In Arabic language, there are 19 different words for dislike. I don't like something. There is a direct relationship between rage and verbal skills. There is a documentary made by BBC channel, British broadcast. In 2 hours, at the end, they do an investigation which is very thorough and complete. And at the end of the investigation, you realize that all those people who committed the crime, they punched somebody in the face, they committed murder, or whatever they did, it was because they couldn't continue the verbal. They couldn't express themselves the way that they wanted. I tell you, in real world, communication. Any conflict, any problem, anything you see in the world, between siblings, between friends, between loved ones, between parents and kids, children, anywhere, between countries. What is going on in the world right now? They cannot communicate the terms. And because they cannot communicate, they want to kill each other. is as simple, as stupid as that. We think that, the only way of thinking and perceiving the world is the way that we do. No. People in West Greenland, that they talk West Greenlandic, in their language they don't have past tense or future tense. The only verb that they have is for now. Imagine how they see the life different. They have no worries about future because they have no word for future. How many things worries you? 2 weeks from now, it's coming up. Do something about it. Oh, I'm going to be 18 years soon. Oh, prom is the next year. Do I have my driver's license? Things like that, right? I want to drive my friends. I want to drive my girlfriend, boyfriend. They don't have that. I give you this test. Mentally, please do it. I give you a piece of Legos. Only black and only dark brown. No other color. You have all the pieces, all shapes that you want. But they're only black and they're only brown. And I ask you to build a castle. Castle in heaven with its garden. And you do your best. The architectural design is fantastic. But people look at it and they think it's Count Dracula garden with a castle or something for Halloween. Because it's dark, right? This is an analogy. All right? This is an analogy for words. If the set of vocabulary in my mind is not positive, the whole world that I build is just dark. If I have a broad spectrum for my descriptive vocabulary, words, then I can build different things. All right. Now, selecting lifetime goals. If you're lucky and you set the goals for your life yourself, then you know that those goals, you got inspired. You feel good about them. You prefer them over anything else. You selected them. You had lots of interest, but then you selected them from, and based on your inner values, you came up with this plan and with these goals. And then you have the desire to match yourself with this goal that you have in your life. It's an internal desire. And then you have a vision of yourself in future. You see yourself there and you want to make it. So the vision is yours, and they're stable and solid. If you're not very lucky and your goals are set by others, your classmates, your schoolmates, your siblings, your parents, you were threatened to set those goals. They're fear-based. They're not inspired. You're not inspired by them. They're induced to you by somebody. And you still dream about this one. That is your goal. All right? And there is something here that I wish I could go further about skills, but this is my last part, illusion about passion. People tell you, let me move forward. They tell you, follow your passion. I ask you to, please tell whoever tells you, follow your passion, find your passion, immediately ask them how. How? You're letting go of your daily interest because you think there is something more important called passion. Why passion is one of those interests. And what people do, if you go to a psychologist or a counselor that wants to help you with that, they just make your vectors of energy aligned. You're wasting your time doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that. That is not of your interest. They align all of those for you, laser focus. And then you see the outcomes that you want to see. It's like a soulmate. You have only one passion. Wrong. I didn't have enough slides here to tell you what I've done in my life. I'm curious. I'm like a kid. Whatever interests me, I step forward to do it. And I enjoy it. And I don't do it because I want to get a good grade. I want to convince somebody. I want people to talk good about it. It's not. Most of the people don't know what I do. Absolutely not. But some people tell you it's an abstract search. You need to meditate, sit in a corner and do this to find your passion. It's not. It's absolutely dynamic. You find it when you interact with other people, when you have hands-on experience, and you try things, then you know what you like, really, really what you like. And how this happens, I finish with a key word, is through mentorship. Value your interest and stay curious. Thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate it.